Today I'll be your host, Priya. Today we have an exclusive report on the very famous Jumbo. We even have a hardworking researcher who will provide us with all her facts. Can you believe it? We even have a scoop of an interview with the one and only Matthew Scott. He is claimed to be Jumbo's caretaker. Anyways, hold on to that excitement and keep watching to see as I pass it over to my co-host, Priyanka. Why, thank you, Priya, as I will be glad to share my investigation on when, years ago, an African elephant named Jumbo was the most famous creature on the planet. The entire audience watching out there, it was said that back then pop culture icons were people who would be exotic creatures from far-off lands. Few people would hope to visit. Well, guess what? Jumbo was one of them. It was said that Jumbo was a young calf when his mother was killed by hunters for her ivory. It's so tragic. Then those same hunters took him and shipped from Africa all the way to Europe. Though surviving the journey across the great seas, it was said Jumbo was not treated well in the zoo he was located in Paris. And he was transferred to the London Zoological Gardens. There, as a bony elephant, Jumbo was put under the care of Matthew Scott, his caretaker. Wait, did I mention Mr. Scott? The zookeeper back then was quite unhappy and badly in need of a friend. Well, yes, and we are featuring him on this show who will elaborate his experience. Right after this break, I will be passing it to Arlena, who will interview the one and only Matthew Scott.
Thank you, Priyanka. Today we have a very special guest on our news report today about Jumbo the elephant. So may our noteworthy visitor come up on the set.
Well, hello. I was Lake Jumbo's caretaker. It was a pleasure to be on this show and share my experiences with the most famous animal of all, Jumbo. The time I spent with him seemed very valuable, and I treasure that, and hope the world will agree with me in unison.
Wow, I can almost imagine how much a love and affection you inherited for Jumbo. So how did you feel when Jumbo came to the zoo? Were you elated or were you surprised?
When Jumbo first came to the zoo, he was obscene and bullied. He seemed like a very dismal elephant, so I decided to devote all my time to him. I soon became essential to him, as I also felt lonely back then, and there were not many exotic animals that came often. In addition, even if they did, I was not their caretaker. And that's when I got the opportunity to take care of one of these exotic animals. I got Jumbo the elephant. He was a truly delight to take care of him. He was so gentle and caring towards me.
I see, Mr. Scott, that Jumbo must have been a lucky elephant to be under your care. Tell me what happened the moment you were with him. I heard he could cause rampages. Is that true?
Personally, I think I was fortunate to take care of Jumbo. And yes, I believe it is true from what I have heard that he truly would cause temper tantrums during the night when I wasn't with him. It was just a coincidence, but I have a real story that will perfectly go for what we're talking about. Would you like to hear it?
Why, of course, it is just that Jumbo is such an interesting elephant that all the facts I hear about him make me astonished. So surely you can continue your story.
Now for a commercial break time.
One day, the zoo director found Jumbo's tusk broken off near his cage, so he asked me if I knew what happened. Truly, my mind was as perplexed as just that previous night. I left him when Jumbo had long tusks, and then the next morning, he had no tusk. It was then registered the fact that Jumbo would have, so we ended the confusion by clearing out due to the continuous raving by Jumbo. Unfortunately, he had lost his tusks. Look at this picture, and you'll notice that Jumbo has tiny tusks than that of other elephants.
So Jumbo's had a fondness for you as he yearned for you when you were away during the night. I always wondered why Jumbo had been here, but I realized it is due to an accident and the fact that he was missing you. I'm pretty sure that our audience must also be surprised of the reason Jumbo's nearly absent tusks. Thanks for now, Mr. Scott, but we will come back with you pretty soon for our insights on a tragic event. However, let us know to get back to Priyanka, who will provide us more chronological events in Jumbo's lifetime.
Welcome back to News Time Channel 72.
Thanks, Arlena. And now back to the success and rising of Jumbo. In 1882, P.T. Barnum bought Jumbo for $10,000. For 3 years, he toured North America in P.T. Barnum's Carnival. Greatest show on earth, it said. He was said to look calmly on boredom. With some accounts, his fan count increased as more people captured the unique sight on the shows. He was an exotic animal. His life was very beautiful, but it was cut shortly. On September 15, 1885, Jumbo was awaiting to board onto a Farnham private rail car when a tragic event happened. As an oncoming train was heard in the distance, well, now after that, only Matthew Scott knows the truth. We cannot deny the facts, but we'll hand it over to him and Arlena. We will soon discover how this tragic event put everyone and the rest of the population of the world in misery. The whole population stunned and heartbroken for the late Jumbo the elephant. As you know, this is the last of my research, but there will be more exciting facts in the interview.
The last facts we heard by concerning Jumbo's death, so thanks Priyanka. Now coming to you, Mr. Scott, can you explain the devastating death of Jumbo as briefly as you can?
Why, I almost have no words to say since I was moved by those few seconds. This is what happened. Jumbo's being loaded into his private rail car, Jumbo's palace car, as his caretaker. I always looked after him. So anyways, as we were patiently loading him into his car, I heard an oncoming train riding on in the tracks in the near distance. Barnum and I rushed all the elephants onto an embankment. I shouted for Jumbo to follow along. However, as he followed, the panicked poor creature nearly ran into a fence. However, in trepidation, we knew Jumbo was back on the tracks and the train had flashed by. That was the moment when the world's most cherished animal had perished. According to the train driver, the train's brakes were broken. It was hard to say whether the train driver is lying or not, as nobody was accompanying him on the train. I was horrified and rushed to Jumbo's side, where he groaned in pain and slowly clutched my hand with his trunk, and I prayed and rubbed him while hysterically crying, hoping with good luck that he was just injured. But unfortunately, I was wrong, and a few minutes later, Jumbo had died.
Welcome back to News Time 72 after a tragic event.
I am truly sorry for your loss, and the rest of the world out there must almost feel your pain, as we love Jumbo, but not as much as you did. So I must respect you for all that hard work you gave in that precious elephant kept near your heart. Now let us bring this interview to an end and escort Jumbo's caretaker, Matthew, handing the mic over to Priya on the main.
Oh my, what a heartbreaking story. I'm torn to pieces after that event description. Now, did you even know after Jumbo's death that he still remained famous? Won't you take a look at that? Barnum was so obliged to have Jumbo as his main attraction in his circus that he decided to donate Jumbo's skeleton to the American Museum of Natural History and Broadway featured a musical about Jumbo's lifetime back in the 1800s, just like we did today on our headline news. Oh, I forgot to mention it before, but I find it so coincidental that today is also Jumbo's birthday. This is why we took our time to honor one of our very well-known or famous animals on the show. We hope you enjoyed and learned as much as we did on the show News Time on Channel 72. And thank you.